Who idea was it for Biggie to lead a vibe party in an SUV with the Life After Death stickers on the hubcaps?
I don't know if Big came over to Andre Harrell with that on his car, but Puff didn't have it on his car. So my whole thing about it is, it was somebody in our crew. When you go back and look at it, it don't make sense. Who put those stickers on it?
I always feel some sort of, responsibility because I'm in this thing with him. He's my artist. He was supposed to go to London. I let him talk me into, not going to London and staying in LA. And that's something that really bothered me, throughout my life, and this is God's world, it's his plan.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's one of the things I regret, not making sure that he went to London.
Diddy called saying he's not going to London. Call Arista, cancel it.
Many people have been wondering what actually transpired on the night of Biggie Smalls' tragic death. Some startling new information has recently shaken the foundations of the hip-hop community. Gene Deal, a former bodyguard of Diddy, disclosed that the victim's car bore a mark from the Bad Boy records. It was undeniable proof that an insider was helping the attacker. Biggie's mom, Voletta Wallace, is said to have been furious after finding out about this, especially with the fact that Gene confirmed Diddy lied to her about what transpired on that fateful night. Let's look into this together because we have all the information we need. Witness Gene Deal, who became famous for testifying in the Biggie Smalls murder case, has recently revealed shocking information about the vehicles used to transport the victim star. Ex-bodyguard claims stickers were used to identify vehicles. This may seem minor, but remember that the cars were rented and the renters weren't allowed to put any stickers on them. This is vital information that Diddy didn't relay to Biggie's mom when explaining what happened over 2.5 decades ago.
You defacing the property. You understand? Somebody gotta pay for that.
Gene went as far as saying that it was obviously the work of the street team they had hired to apply the stickers to the automobiles. He further explained why they alone were in this position.
But Puff didn't have it on his car. And only one that could have done that was somebody from the street team.
The chief of security at the time hinted that the street team had some responsibilities, but didn't specify what those were. Nevertheless, apart from that, the fact that an insider was in constant touch with the criminal, it's logical to assume that the mole on the street team was the one who physically separated Biggie and Diddy's cars.
Different people was trying to kill us. Somebody wanted to know, yo, if y'all gonna get big, here go the car with the stickers on it.
Gene's devoted audience agrees with him on this. They went so far as to offer their own psychic explanation for the sticker's placement on the wheels and believe Voletta should press Diddy to tell her the truth. I always thought that was odd when I saw the Think Big stickers on the wheels of the Suburban. In the 1990s, whenever you did street team promotion, you always wanted the biggest signs possible. You would have people wearing big t-shirts, big posters, flyers, etc. When it came to vehicles, you did a wrap. If you couldn't afford a wrap, you did a magnet decal. Either way, the artwork was always at eye level. Door and windows. The problem with putting the promotion stickers on wheels is that no one is looking down. They are too small, and when the wheels turn, it will be upside down, and no one can read what says. Those stickers stuck out to me too, no lie. Gene's comments implied that Diddy and Biggie's relationship was less rosy than the rapper had made it seem. They were exploiting one another financially.
Puff and Big wasn't as close as niggas you would think they were. Puff robbing Big, and Big was robbing Puff.
As long as I have a life, there's hope. Biggie's mother, Voletta Wallace, told VW exclusively while promoting the Netflix documentary Biggie, I have a story to tell. I'll never give up, and I hope when I'm not in this world anymore, my friends and family will carry on the fight. There is always hope. The heartbroken mother said in 2021 that she is not content with what Diddy told her, and she's hell-bent on finding who really killed her son. Wallace appears in the documentary, a celebration of her son's life, including never-before-seen video footage shared by his longtime friend Damian D. Rock Butler, who was in the car when the legendary rapper was killed. Both Butler and Wayne Barrow, executor of his estate, released the documentary to honor their friend whose life was cut short at 24. Wallace was never a fan of rap or hip-hop, but she listened to the music her son and his friends enjoyed at times. The first time she heard Big Papa, she felt like it was a song she could listen to, though she wasn't a fan of all the profanity. The Jamaican native jokes that they must have played her clean edits of the songs instead of the originals. Thinking that Diddy covered up for her son's death still hurts her to this day. After losing her Notorious, Wallace found a connection to him through his music. After his passing, I heard a lot of positive and negative things that were being said about him. As a mother, I only wanted to hear positive things because I'm biased, she explains. I decided then I wanted to know more about his music. I read something in a magazine about him where the writer said something like, "What do people expect when you give a bum from the ghetto $1 million?" I was very hurt by that. I never raised my son to be a bum or a drug dealer. So I listened to his music and I asked a lot of questions. I cried like a baby while listening because what I heard was an intelligent human being. Now, let's not forget that Biggie's manager, Diddy, refused to employ extra guards despite knowing the truth about the tensions between the East and West Coasts in the wake of Tupac Shakur's assassination. At this time, it is safe to assume that Diddy was complicit in the death of Biggie. The chief of Diddy's security detail named another person he thought was in the plot with Puffy. He claims he warned Biggie's team member to stay away from where Puffy was going, and the member assured him that he would do so. Unfortunately, D-Rock went back on his word and brought Biggie to that Peterson Museum after party. According to Gene, D-Rock may have been secretly purchased by Diddy. He repeated what Kirk Burroughs had said, that Biggie had been scheduled to go to London with Kirk, but that their plans had to be rearranged at the last minute because Big was encouraged by Diddy and D-Rock to attend the doomed after-party. These are certainly strong words, yet they carry no weight in law. But if you think Gene's work is finished here, you'd be wrong. Gene stated that there were about 7 or 8 security guards present, but that most of them were unarmed. You may be wondering why the security team didn't bring guns to the fight on the coast. The answer is obvious, they were following directions from their boss. According to Gene, Biggie's brief stay in Los Angeles was part of Diddy's elaborate plan to bring him to the brink of death. He said that everybody knew Biggie's condition was bad and that he couldn't escape or defend himself if anything happened. Thus, there is no justification for the absence of armed guards in this setting. For those wondering if Diddy ever truly cared about Biggie, Gene laid it all out for them. Diddy only wanted Biggie for his talent and negotiated arrangements for him under his label so that he could prosper. After reading all this, you might be confused as to why Diddy was after Biggie, seeing as Diddy was the one who originally scouted Biggie. If you recall, Big was the one who first enraged Snoop Dogg and the Crips. And since Diddy was too chicken to really confront anyone, he went ahead and took care of the root of the problem. Yet we can't overlook the fact that Big was ready to quit Bad Boys. Perhaps he was terrified of losing his star status in the music business. The public has reacted in a variety of ways to these findings. Some think Puffy wanted to be famous more than Biggie, therefore he plotted Biggie's downfall. Talking nothing but facts, Puff was scared he was going to be out of the music business after Big was about to leave Bad Boy and become what Puff is now and even bigger. Rest well, Big. While some believe Diddy used the dispute as an excuse to have Biggie killed because he was afraid of him, it's common sense. If you, my homeboy, and I know that another coast doesn't like me or you at this point in time, why would I try to encourage you to go anyways? There's plenty of ways this situation could have got handled if someone really wanted to squash the beef. We all know from the press that working with Diddy never yields positive results. The artist community took notice of his toxic work ethic. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent discussed Diddy's solo career and expressed his continued perplexity over why any musician would want to be associated with the current head of Revolt TV. Puffy might be the destination for anybody going nowhere, said 50 Cent. Nobody survived him, and Biggie's mother couldn't agree more with 50. Voletta blamed the LAPD in an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail for failing to solve the case. She went so far as to say that she knew the perpetrator. "I have a very good idea who murdered Christopher, and I genuinely believe that the LAPD know exactly who did too. They've done their investigation, but they just refuse to move forward. I don't know why they haven't arrested who was involved. It seems to me that it's one giant conspiracy, and someone is definitely being protected somewhere down the line." So, in a nutshell, Voletta has all the right to demand a re-explanation from Diddy on what really transpired when the young rapper lost his life. Why did he go to LA instead of heading to London? Who canceled the trip and why? Why was his car marked and not the rest? Why wasn't Diddy in the same car with him as he always did? And finally, why did Diddy refuse Jane's advice to top up security for the rapper? Voletta, Biggie's executor, understands it's getting harder and harder for her to move on from her son's terrible murder the longer the case remains unsolved. Diddy is the only person with the correct answer she needs. And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye.